Your phone buzzes on the desk, lighting up with a single name. You like this person, but your immediate visceral reaction isn't joy. It is a tight, sharp pang of anxiety that tightens your chest for a split second. You flip the phone face down and tell yourself you will deal with it in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes turns into 5 hours, and 5 hours bleeds into 3 days. Now, the message isn't just a text anymore. It has mutated into a moral failing. This phenomenon is destroying friendships and creating a background hum of guilt in your daily life. We need to dissect exactly why a digital notification triggers a fight or flight response. The problem starts before you even read the message. Smartphones have trained us to associate that specific vibration pattern with a demand for labor. When a notification arrives, it arrives without context or consent. It could be a meme, a tragedy, a work emergency, or just someone saying hello. Your brain treats this ambiguity as a potential threat. Until you unlock the screen, that buzz is Schrödinger's cat of emotional labor. This creates a spike of cortisol known as microdread. It is not the fear of the person, it is the fear of the unknown obligation. We often frame texting as a leisure activity, but cognitively it functions like an administrative task. Your phone is essentially an inbox that anyone in the world can add to at any time. Resisting the urge to look requires willpower, and checking it requires energy. This puts you in a lose-lose situation the moment the screen lights up. Deep down, the irritation comes from the interruption of your flow. You might be washing dishes, writing an email, or just watching a movie. Your brain has constructed a specific context for that activity. A text message acts as a context wrecking ball. To reply, you must pause your current reality, load the mental model of your friend, and simulate a conversation. Then you have to unload that model and try to rebuild your previous focus. Researchers call this attention residue. Part of your brain remains stuck on the message even after you put the phone down. If you are receiving 50 notifications a day, you never actually reside in the present moment. You exist in a permanent state of transition between tasks. Avoiding the text is a subconscious attempt to protect your mental cohesion. You aren't ignoring the person, you're defending your brain's RAM. The initial delay is usually innocent. You see the text while driving or in a meeting and mentally bookmark it. This is where the trap snaps shut. An unread message has a very short shelf life for a casual reply. If you reply within 10 minutes, a simple emoji is acceptable. If you wait 3 hours, you might need a sentence. If you wait 3 days, cultural norms dictate that you provide an excuse. Now the task has grown in complexity. You cannot just say LOL anymore. You have to construct a narrative about why you were busy. The effort required to send the message increases by the hour. Your brain calculates this increased cost and decides to procrastinate further. It becomes a self-sustaining cycle of avoidance. The longer you wait, the harder it gets, so the longer you wait. Eventually, it feels easier to never reply at all and hope they forget you exist. We also have to acknowledge that texting has ceased to be casual. It has evolved into a form of high-stakes micro-performance. In a face-to-face conversation, your tone, facial expression, and body language carry the weight. In text, you are stripped of these tools. You have to engineer the vibe manually using punctuation and emojis. Using a period can make you look aggressive. Using no punctuation can make you look uninterested. This forces you to audit every draft before you hit send. Does this sound too enthusiastic? Does this sound cold? This is decision fatigue happening in real time. When you are already tired from a long day, the idea of performing chillness via text is exhausting. So you choose silence, because silence is the only option that requires zero curation. While you're agonizing over your silence, you imagine feelings onto the sender. You imagine they are checking their phone, tapping their foot, and judging your character. You construct a scenario where they are deeply offended. In reality, they probably closed the app and moved on with their life. This is the spotlight effect. We overestimate how much others are thinking about us. Most people are too consumed by their own notification anxieties to track your response time. But the guilt feels real because the red badge on the app icon acts as a constant accusation. It sits on your home screen, staring at you. This turns your personal device into a list of people you have disappointed. The solution requires a fundamental shift in how we view the medium. We have accidentally treated texting like a digital walkie-talkie. A walkie-talkie demands synchronous attention, over. But texting was designed to be asynchronous. It should work like a letter, not a phone call. When you receive a letter, nobody expects you to sprint to the mailbox and scribble a reply instantly. We need to reclaim that slowness. This starts by removing the cues that create urgency. Turn off read receipts. Read receipts are surveillance tools that weaponize your attention. By hiding your status, you buy yourself the freedom to process messages on your own timeline. You also need to stop apologizing for the delay. Every time you write, "so sorry for the late reply," you reinforce the norm that speed is required. Just reply to the content. Train your friends to expect a good reply eventually rather than a bad reply immediately. Your worth as a friend is not measured in megabits per second. The anxiety you feel is a mismatch between biological limits and technological design. You are a human being with a single stream of consciousness. You cannot be present everywhere at once. Let the phone buzz. Let the message sit. The people who matter will still be there when you are ready to speak.